Bob?
I've been sitting here trying to decide whether to say anything tonight because I'm in a foul mood, and some of you who've been here before in the past couple of years know when I'm in a foul mood it gets kind of difficult at times, but I guess I'm going to go ahead a little bit. Board members, the 7 people sitting here at the head table, or elected board members, are the policy makers for this school district, and every one of us up here is dedicated to doing the best we can for the kids. Otherwise we wouldn't be here. Somebody said earlier, we aren't paid. That's right, we don't get compensated. We're not the city council, we're not the county board, we're not the state legislature. We're here because we want to be. And it's not an easy job. It's gotten very difficult. This is my 17th year, and I've seen a lot of different things happen over that time period, and some I can believe, some I can't. But it's frustrating to me to see how this board as a group and some individuals have been treated in the last couple of weeks. I'm not a Facebook person, I find that poison, but unfortunately some people showed me some stuff in the last couple of weeks and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It disappointed me a lot. And in my 17 years, when people say to me, why on earth do you do that? Why don't you get out of there? I've always told people that it's one of the best things I've ever done, and you should do it. The only bad part of it are the expulsion hearings. They're horrible. Other than that, it's a pretty good job, and you're going to feel pretty good when you get done. I got to be honest with you, my comments in that regard have changed the last few days, and I'm not sure I'd tell that to people anymore. I got to be honest with you about that. That's why I'm angry tonight. I don't think people understand what we do here. They don't understand that we don't come here once a month. There's a lot of other meetings. There's all kinds of things going on that we have to do as board members, and we give up our personal time and time with our families to do it. But that's okay. We're not looking for pats on the back. That's just the nature of what we do up here. It's real easy to be an internet troll and sit there with your iPhone and tell everybody what to do and tell what you're doing wrong and threaten this, threaten that. But till you sat up here and walked in our shoes, you don't understand that we don't have just one master. We have to answer to a lot of people. We've had some great people on this board in the 17 years that I've served. We have great people here now. In case you haven't looked at the website to learn about these folks, let me give you a little sample of what we have sitting up here before you tonight. 5 of us are Galesburg High School graduates. Mr. Panther is an exception. He's a Costa Academy grad. And then there's Josh, who went to Monmouth Roseville. Roseville, I'm sorry.
I am that old.
Everybody has a college degree. 4 of us have graduate degrees. 3 of us have spouses that either teach in the district or used to. Every single one of us has kids or grandkids that are students in the district or used to be. And I quickly counted sitting here, I think about 6 of those are graduates of the high school as well. So this is a quality board, and for a town of 30,000 people, that's pretty good, I think. You have people of this quality sitting up here wanting to develop the policies and procedures for this school district. But one of the other big things that's been important for this board over the years, and this board and the prior boards that I've served with, is the people don't come here with agendas. There are no one-trick ponies sitting up here tonight, folks. People came here for the right reasons to do what's best for kids. And I'm confident that going forward, we're still going to do that despite some difficult days that we've had. One of the other irritants that's really bugged me the last few days is the treatment that's been given to Bart Arthur. About 5-6 years ago, the prior board was planning ahead, we do that around here, believe it or not, for Dr. Denisar's retirement. His contract was about up. That leads to the question of, well, how are we going to replace him? What's the process going to be? Having been through a few searches myself, it's the same old debate. Are we going to have the nationwide search? Are we going to look only in Illinois? Or are we going to look internally? And we went back and forth on that, and we decided that if we had somebody internally that was really going to be excellent and somebody that everyone respected, maybe we ought to do that this time. Well, it was kind of easy because at that point in time we had a principal at Churchill who was phenomenal. We had brought him into the district from Abington to frankly clean up a mess. The morale at that school when he got there amongst teachers, parents, and kids was at the lowest it's ever been in its history, I think. And he quickly turned it around, miraculously. And we never heard a bad word about what was going on in Churchill after that. All we heard was accolades. So it was pretty easy for us to say, well, if Bart's interested in taking the superintendent track, we ought to put him on it. Thankfully, he did. He was taking the courses to do that, to move along. And with that, we put him on the track to come to the central office, planning to have him be the curriculum director and then be superintendent. He spent a year working with Joel Estes part-time as a curriculum director, and then the next year when Joel retired, he was to take over. That was a year ago. And he was acting in that capacity in 2013 when Dr. Denisar abruptly decided to retire. So we're sitting here, this board then was with a problem to address. What are we going to do? We can bring in an interim superintendent, or we can promote Bart early and give him all the help we can in his first job as a superintendent. We elected to offer the job to Bart, but we did something dirty to him. We told him he's going to have the job and he's also going to be the curriculum director. He's going to do two jobs. Because we've been getting all this heat over the years from people to cut somebody in this office, cut the salaries. You're paying too much money to these people. Well, he agreed to do that, and he just about paid for it with his life when he had a stroke a year ago. And he's worked his way through it, worked with us. And then I looked in the Facebook last week and I see the stuff said about him, and that infuriated me no end. But what disappointed me some more, probably the most, was I saw the names of people on there at Churchill who either work there now or used to, a lot of retirees, that didn't say one word in his defense, nothing. Those people that benefited from what he did to their school sat in their hands. That's shameful. If you're here tonight, shame on you. Labor negotiations are stressful, folks. I can safely say tonight that I've sat through more negotiation sessions with bargaining units for this school district than anybody up here tonight. For years, I did all of them. No board member wants to do that. I've bargained with the custodians, with the food service workers from about the time I was on the board. I couldn't deal with the teachers for a number of years because my wife was a teacher. But when she retired 11 years ago, I got that assignment too, because nobody wants to do it. It's hard work. It's a lot of time. It's emotional. It's just flat no fun. Thankfully, this year, when we had some new board members, that changed. Because you see the 7 members up here, 4 of them are in their first term. Mr. Colclasure, Mrs. Palmer, Ms. Kessler, and Josh Gibb, this is their first term. The very first term. They're new. Mr. Welty's in his second term. Mr. Panther's been elected 4 times. I've been elected 5 times. It's a difficult thing to go through. But the new people said, we want to step in to try to change things. Tom was president. He made it happen. It was a great idea. And I want to say publicly, Natalie and Josh, fabulous job. We all owe you a great debt of thanks. And also a thanks to Molly because she was the backup that filled in when one of them had to be gone for a while. You guys did a super job. And I know it because I've been there and done it. But I can tell you something, when we got done with all the negotiating we've done over the years, with all the units, and we took things back to our members, we knew we had it done. We knew we had it done because it was fair. That's collective bargaining. That's what it's all about. It's not like the everyday stuff that we're used to doing by ourselves in the marketplace. I'm an attorney. I cut deals every single day of the week, every year, every day. That's what I do for a living. But I don't do it when the collective bargaining sphere. It's different. It's more difficult. It's harder. The rules are different. You don't just come in and amend something and boom, it's done. Doesn't happen that way, folks. It's difficult. It's frustrating. And what we're asking for here tonight is hard. Doesn't sound hard, but it's hard. Believe me, it's hard. I don't know what to say about going forward. You know, I thought things were done. On August 28th, I watched a member of the GEA bargaining team out in front of this building say, This deal will work for both sides. Nobody ever gets everything they want, but this will fit. We'll get it done. What happened? What happened? You know, now we're back here arguing over the stuff again. I don't know how it got that way. But the other frustrating thing to me that I've heard and read in all these comments in the paper, what I've heard here tonight, you know, the one thing that's missing? The practical aspect. How in the heck are you going to put the 6 days in the calendar? Nobody's presented anything to say how you're going to change it. We come to these meetings when I bellyache about something that the board does, and it's something I don't like, the least I do is offer an alternative. There hasn't been an alternative offered. And the practical side of this thing, it's not that easy. You got vacations in there, you got various holidays, you got people with vacations at the end of the year. We've heard from all of them. Hey, don't extend the days 6 days in the year. I got plane tickets. That stuff you guys don't hear. We do. Don't cut my spring break. I'm going to go to Mexico or Florida. We can't go then. When are we going to go? There is a practical side to this. We'd love to be able to do it. We want kids in school, folks. That's why we're here. But don't think our job is that easy. Don't think we haven't looked at trying to find solutions, because we have. Sometimes things just don't work out. I think we're a positive country. We're optimistic all of the time. You know, it helped me a lot last Friday night to go out to the high school to that football game. Anybody sitting here in the last few years know there's nobody that was louder, that fought that thing more than me. One of my board members nicknamed me Al-Qaeda Bob out of that. I tried everything I could to have those monies spent elsewhere, but I lost. Other people were more persuasive than me, and I got out there Friday night and thought, you know, this is pretty good. People were smiling, they were happy, the kids were on the field, they were thrilled. The local citizens packed in there were thrilled. Okay, you know, it's a big project we got going on. You know, do we have some buildings that need to be fixed? Absolutely. People don't forget that this Board of Education has embarked on the largest public works project in the history of this community. Think of that. Over $100 million. We can't do it all overnight. These buildings didn't crumble overnight. They're not going to get fixed overnight. And there's going to be battles over what has more priority over this or that. It's the nature of the beast, because it's going to take some time. It's expensive. But we know that. We've heard it. We're listening to people. We know we need to fix things. We're trying. And I hear all this stuff, there's no doors on classrooms. For crying out loud, there haven't been doors on those classrooms since they were built in the 70s. You know, that didn't happen overnight. You know, all these things coming out, you know, we know they're there. We're not entirely stupid, and we're trying to fix them. Stay with us. Have some trust. Have some faith. We've done everything we can to try to respond to people. You know, we have 4 new board members. We have a new superintendent. We had a brand new negotiating team this year. I don't know what else we can do to try to change people's minds around here. We've done everything we can. And if I look frustrated, it's because I am. You know, 17 years were pretty good. Last couple of weeks, I don't know. You know, I'm trying real hard to be positive myself. It isn't just one side or the other here that's trying to turn things around and get positive again. It's right up here, and you're looking at example A. And you know, I've had some of these people up here wonder why they were sitting up here the last few days, and I tell them they're doing the right thing. Hang in there. But you know, I don't know. You know, I'm not up for election in 2 years. If I was, easy answer for me. But anyway, stick with these people. Trust in these people. We're trying to do the best job we can.